Good
morning.
morning, Tom. How are you?
I am hanging in there, Paul. Good morning.
That doesn't sound as positive as I normally hear you. Tell me what's going on.
I've had a week of challenges, to be sure. We've had some setbacks here. We had a brand new machine delivered, and it was sitting out there just all by itself, and an amplifier just went out on it. So that kept us down for like 3 days until we could get an amplifier replaced on it. That was challenging. And then we had a post processor delivered to us yesterday that was incorrect and not performing at all very well. So dealing with that all day yesterday. Been trying to clean out the coolant in all of our equipment.
Yep.
Replacing it with the Blauser 735. And the coolant that was in there before was pretty nasty. And yesterday we turned on the lathe, and it just like pumped goo into our new skimmer.
Oh no.
So we had to get the pressure washer out to fix the skimmer, but the pressure washer's carburetor was fouled. And so we had to fix the pressure washer so we could clean the skimmer. It was challenging. This week's been challenging.
It's one thing after another.
But do you ever notice that hope really doesn't show up until after despair has been lingering around?
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta hang on.
You
just have to hang on. Yeah, it can be like that.
Well, it can often get it can get overwhelming, especially in a super small shop. Everything lands on your shoulders. You got Justin, which is wonderful, but the buck stops with you.
It does. And, oftentimes I don't feel adequate to handle all of it at once, but, and Pro Shop is, I'm trying to get machinery running. I'm trying to get up to speed with the Pro Shop, and, sometimes I'm just not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So, I get a little frustrated that I'm not moving along. I don't feel as confident as maybe I would like to with Pro Shop, but the work has to be put in for me. Things like this don't come supernaturally. I haven't lived and breathed ERP systems my whole life. I have not lived and breathed running a shop. That I have some experience with this is helpful, but getting in deep with Pro Shop, it just shows you how very granular the Pro Shop process is. And so you really have to get in with it, and you have to do the work so that, the prosperity that I intend to get out of this is not just going to come by somebody delivering a piece of software and click, 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 and you're done. It's forcing me to understand my processes. And in all honesty, I don't understand all of my processes.
Well, you're just
100%.
inventing them, right? You're a brand new shop. You've never sent an estimate before or a quote. Yeah,
right.
It's all brand new.
Right. But it all goes back to why I'm here with Pro Shop is I could just whip out a Word document, estimate this part, get it over to the customer, get a PO, start working, and then wonder at some point down the road, why am I not making as much money as I should be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to be the result. I do want to understand my processes. So Pro Shop's forcing me to learn. I like it.
I guess that's good. Yeah, that's good. And I can assure you that once you're quick at it, it will be faster than pulling out a Word document. It will be.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at scale, once you're processing lots of orders and quoting lots of jobs. And so, well,
at the beginning, it's tempting to take a shortcut.
Sure.
But I'm glad Michael is doing a fantastic job of walking me through. It's been good.
Well, I wanted to share, as you were saying that, I just pulled up an email from a customer that I got just a few days ago. So he's pretty new to ProShop, and he's a one-man shop. So he has 2 machines, runs it all by himself. And so I just asked him, how's your experience been so far? And just less than half an hour later, he sent to me, he said, "Hi, Paul. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, ProShop will be the reason my business succeeds." And my heart just filled with gratitude from that. He said, "Michael, your same trainer has been the best guide I could have asked for. Not only has he helped me learn the ins and outs of ProShop, but he's given me advice on actually running my business. He's great to chat with, and I always look forward to my meetings with him." And then he goes on to say, "My customer, who's an AS91 certified company, recently did their on-site audit to formally approve me as a supplier, and the director of quality specifically called out that he loves ProShop. They already knew I could make them great parts, but backing it up with a robust ERP system that puts quality at the forefront really won them over. They even talked about buying it just so they could use the training module." So, so I look forward to the day when your customers are saying the same thing about you and have a high level of confidence in what you're doing. So.
Well, thank you. I that's the reason why I'm here. It's an investment in education. It's an investment in time and money. But I feel the exact same way. ProShop is really going to be why I end up the success. I absolutely believe that, Paul.
Well, I think we'll play a part, but you're the reason why you're going to be a success.
Very nice of you.
Well, let's get in and take a look at your system and see what you've been doing. But before, it's getting warm in here. I'm going to take off my shirt, my sweatshirt.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Boom.
DNC America. All
That's
right. Very nice.
Thank you for sending me this shirt.
Very nice. What a surprise. Yeah, it's quite nice. All right.
So
well, I'm glad
share
you're
your screen? Oh yeah, this is great.
All right, so I'm on my my training work order here.
Yeah, so again, for those that maybe not have seen the last ones, this is a work order showing and walking us through the whole training process. And we actually use ProShop for doing that, partly because it's a good project management tool, and partly you're learning just navigation in ProShop as you're training in ProShop, because we're using ProShop to do the training for ProShop. So, okay, well, yeah, there's definitely more checked off than before. And you must be down in sort of the operation 60 and 61 area, right?
There's some things that I need to go back and just take a look. For instance, these training videos, I think there might be one more thing. So I have yet to check off a few of these, as well as the preliminary estimate, and in estimating and quoting.
Right.
So this is the meat of where we are right now.
Okay. That's great. Well, let's take a look at one of your estimates.
All right. So I think we're here. No, it's a PO.
That's the customer PO. We can get there from there pretty easy. Right. But whatever however you like, go ahead.
All right. Here are our estimates, and we'll go to here. And this is
there we go.
This is an estimate that I'm worked on this morning with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And so we built up the header here and the secondary processes and where we're going to get our material.
So it's aluminum with clear anodize, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you have 2 machining operations. And then
right. So every time we open the door, we take these parts and put them in a vise, and we'll deck off that for a total time of almost 20 minutes.
Okay. And I see you also have some non-reoccurring setup time in there. So you're charging your customer for some programming and maybe fixture creation or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Right.
And then you got your quantity down below that. You got your quantity table, about $3 in material, $50 in tooling, $50 in shipping, and about $400 total for the anodize.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that $400, which is gray italic font, is pulling in from the anodize calculation based on either lot charges or unit price, probably in this case.
Yeah, I have both, and it knows the difference. So, for instance, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to send. I have not tried this vendor before, so I'm going to send him 6 total assemblies, which is 9 parts. We will try them out, and those 9 parts will fall under the lot charge. So I'm sure that number will be his lot charge.
Right. Yep.
When I do that estimate. So.
Okay. And then down at the bottom, you have some terms and conditions that are going to show up on your quote page. It looks like you have.
Now I've modified some of these to come in with mine. So yeah.
Great. And then scroll back up, and then over on the right, you've already done one quote. So there's the link to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the quote. And I need to populate some of this other information here, but so we've got 2 parts in here, and the cost per part. And so I've lowered my shop rate on this for my customer. And then just made a note of what the other costs were, and so this is just about ready to go here. So you want to see what that would look like in final product?
Yeah. So that tab right next to this one on the left, that one is a purchase order. Yeah, and so there we can see the PO number. And then the quote ID. So that's just a hyperlink right back to the quote in the second column right there under the order date. Yeah, so that's just a hyperlink right back to the quote that we were on. And then there's your 2 line items with your NRE charge as well. And it looks like, so next time with Michael, you'll create those work orders and start the work order process.
Yeah, and Justin's really looking forward to that, being able to log in and clock time against a work order. So next week, I hope we're going to do a little shop tour and show you that, how that works. So I think we should be all jazzed up for that now that we've got our amplifier installed and our coolant skimmers not looking like they're pumping mud.
Yeah, I imagine it. You had some pretty old coolant sitting in those lines, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So,
but anyway.
Yeah, so the other thing that I'll just point out, sort of right below that header and above the line items, you have that contract review area. So, don't know if you talked about that yet, but once, with your goal of getting, ISO or AS certification in the future, those checkboxes are a key component of showing an auditor that you have, done your review, done your risk evaluation, and you've checked off and you have traceability of who signed off, that you could make the dates and, the rev was correct. And that's an important part of that audit process for ISO.
This was my favorite part of our training this morning, because going over each one of these items was a stark reminder of where I used to work. One of the places I used to work, you would get an "oh, by the way." You would quote a quantity of 100X, and the customer would order one of those at that 100 quantity order, and no one would catch that, until the roll up would be done, and you'd figure out, well, you didn't make it any money. You lost money on that job.
Right.
And why was that? But this review here, for the quantities and the prices per the quote and the terms, not that customers are sneaky or anything, but they can have boilerplate on their PO that doesn't match what we agreed to, and being able to be reminded, hey, you need to check that, is part of, I think, the success rate that we're going to enjoy.
Very good. Well, great, Tom. You guys have made great progress since last time. And sorry for all the stuff you've been battling with machines and post processors and carburetors. But
Paul, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is running this business. And this is the bread and butter of it. This is the tool that helps me get to where I want to be. And so the pace of our progress will be picking up on our training and so forth. But I just want to encourage anybody who might be listening to this podcast that this is what we want to do. This is what we signed up for. I can't tell you how excited I am to be digging into the meat and potatoes of this, and having a flow and a pace and some proficiency about it. So
we look forward to getting there with you too.
That is a great shirt you have on.
I know, isn't it? I like yours too, man. This is a sharp logo.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you as always, Tom. This has been a blast, and good luck with the rest of your week. Hope your post continues to post good code and your machine continues to make good parts. And we'll talk to you in another week.
All right. Looking forward to it, Paul.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.